Hello everybody, this is DexIndicators.net. This is the Dex Macd Indicator intro. Now, what is a MACD? Well, the MACD stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence, and this is a trend following momentum indicator. Now, this shows the relationship between two moving averages. The MACD is calculated by subtracting the 26-day exponential moving average and the EMA from the 12-day EMA. So it's a difference between the two. So it's like an average of momentum. Using the MACD, you have to know the three major components and know how to sort them out: the convergent side, the divergent side, and crossovers. Now, in the understanding of convergence is when you draw a line for a downtrend. If a trend is happening on the chart, in a downward position once you draw the line, and on the MACD, the lows are getting higher, that would be considered an uptrend. This means convergence. This means that there's going to be a shift in the actual market itself. There is also, There's also a process when you have an uptrend or direction and you have a downtrend on the MACD. This is divergence. This usually stands for that the trend is about to shift. You'll also see that the two major, the EMA and the other part of the process, when they have a line that crosses over one, they call this the crossover, and you'll see that in the explanation here in just a minute. Let's go over and have a look. The MACD is very powerful. It does have a lot of variables that you can use. Again, right out of the box, works very well. And there's the 26 and the 12. We're not worried about period signals and everything else. Just leave everything the way it is right outside the box. Later on in advanced, you'll be able to set momentums. You'll be able to set different parts of the process to kind of smooth some noise out for yourself. But for right now, just leave everything as it is. It gets attached to what we call an under the chart process here. So it's not going to be actually on the chart. I did this for a reason, is that I wanted this information to be set clear. If we try to put it onto the chart, it's going to be convoluted because you're not just going to use the MACD, right? You're going to have other things on, whether you're using a support and resistance. Let's add that on. Something like that. And you might even be putting a trend reverse on as well. Okay. You can then see clearly enough at each point that if you do get a point where you have maybe an arrow, or maybe the part of the strategy is to say, okay, use the arrow as my first signal and then a crossover as a confirmation to go in that direction. So very powerful to be able to use and see the different events that are happening from crossovers. And of course, what I was referring to before of convergence and divergence is that you draw some simple lines from high to lows. You do the same here. You can kind of see that it's converging together. It almost makes like a flag or pennants look to it. Okay. And so that's one way. In the advanced videos that are coming, this is only the intro video. There's a lot more to kind of dive into on each one, especially some strategy, very strong strategies with volume and zeroing out the crossover. Many things to get involved in. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexIndicators.net. I want to thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing you inside and hope you trade well.